Hey there, sports fans. Mike Crook coming at you with another episode of Laces Out. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the roller coaster of emotion that occurred in our house this weekend for football, as well as our updated fantasy and pick'ems, and as always, our top 3 game picks for the ACC and Big 12. So stay tuned. All right, first things first, the roller coaster of emotion that came into our household this weekend. Mainly, it was night and day, college to pro ball. College ball, nothing but disappointment. We follow 3 teams in this household: Florida State, Penn State, and CU. And yeah, all 3 of those suffered disappointing, heartbreaking losses this weekend. Florida State, just an embarrassing disarray of penalties, turnovers, etc. through 3 quarters of play. Rallying in the end, possibly due to maybe Miami taking the foot off the gas, who knows, but either way, 6-point loss for Florida State, back-to-back losses on the season for the team, and a lot of questions need to be answered. Will that happen against Pitt this week? Guess we'll find out. And then CU up 14-0 on the road to TCU, and then not penalties, well, I don't know about that, but turnovers at least definitely contributed to them falling to TCU, and just they're sitting at 2-4 in the season now, and there were such high expectations for this year. What can Coach Prime and company do against the visiting Iowa State Cyclones, who are also coming off of a disappointing loss? So something's got to give this weekend. What's it going to be? And lastly, Penn State. Oh, I don't even know. I have no words on this one. Like, a very disappointing loss. Penn State on the road, UCLA, a winless UCLA, and they just lay an egg. Like, this was UCLA's game from the get-go, and it was, I watched like a good chunk of this game, and I was just feeling it for Trey, because this is his college team, and rough loss for the Nittany Lions. How they right the ship going into next week, I don't know, but they've got a rough slate coming up. I think they have Northwestern coming to town, which is no slouch team, so a lot of questions to be answered in Happy Valley. Can they right the ship? But then on the flip side, we get to the pro level, and yeah, the Steelers that Trey follows, while they didn't play this weekend, they had a perfect bye weekend where all 3 divisional rivals in the AFC North all suffered an L. So kudos to the Steelers on that one. Time to get to work though. And as for the Broncos, also perfect weekend for them. They go on the road to Philadelphia, knocking off the defending Super Bowl champions for one hell of a fourth quarter rally. And they actually won in Philly for the first time since 1986. A feat that hasn't happened since John Elway was under center. So great news on that one. And to top it all off, all 3 division rivals for them lost as well. So let's go Broncos. So that was our weekend. Not going to dive into a lot of the X's and O's on that one. It was just a very emotional weekend. So we press on to the world of fantasy. Fantasy football week 5 is in the books, and wow, I'm still on the greatest start to any fantasy season I've ever had in my life. And I'm sorry to say that this one I actually want to put a small asterisk on, just because this is a game that was already close between me and my wife. And unfortunately, didn't get Bowers subbed in before the early morning kickoff. And of course, he was out, so dropped her 0 points. But on the flip side, I actually would have been better if I'd left my Steelers defense in, because Seattle got me a -5. So in what was already a close game, that kind of didn't help things out a lot. But she still had a shot, even though she wouldn't say it. She still had a shot Monday night. If Etienne and Travis Hunter had just done a little bit more, like on that last touchdown that T-Law went in for to get the win over the Chiefs, honestly, before he kind of got his foot stepped on and stumbled, it almost looked like he was going to hand the ball off to Etienne. Had Etienne got it in the end zone, she would have gotten the win. So that close. And I'm sorry, babe, and I'm sure you're going to be headhunting for me when we have a rematch later in the season. Game on. Now that that's over, all the highs from fantasy football, now we come to the lows for pick'ems. Still, rough college pick'em seasons for college. I think I had like maybe 4 right last weekend. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I did a lot better in the pros, though. Still holding a very minor top spot in our NFL pick'ems, pig skip pick'ems between me and my son. But yeah, it's neck and neck with us right now. It literally is going to come down to the wire at the end of the season, no doubt. But yeah, still looking for that perfect weekend. Don't know if the upcoming one is going to afford me that opportunity, but all you can do is try, right? So here we go. The top 3 games in the ACC and Big 12. Laid a goose egg in the ACC last weekend, went 1-2, and actually had the first winning picks weekend for the Big 12. I went 2-1 last weekend. The only loss that I took for the Big 12 was Iowa State. I thought they were going to come out with the win on that one, but Cincinnati had other plans. So fingers crossed. A little bit better picks this weekend. So first up, we're going to start with the ACC. And our top 3 games this weekend, we got Virginia Tech, 2-4 Virginia Tech, traveling to number 13 Georgia Tech, who is currently undefeated 5-0, and probably outside of Miami, like the top team in the league. So this one I don't see being close at all. I mean, it might be close maybe in the first quarter, but honestly, I can see Georgia Tech running away with this one by at least 17 points. So good job on that one, Ramblin' Wreck. Next up, we have Stanford traveling to SMU. Both of these teams are kind of mid. Stanford sitting there at 2-3, SMU at 3-2. But I think that the Mustangs actually have a lot more going for them in this one. I swear I can talk. And I see the Mustangs actually getting a huge win in this one by at least 3 touchdowns. So preemptive, good job for you on that one, SMU. Don't let me down. Lastly, Florida State. Oh my gosh, what do I do with this team? Like, they're riding so high after that Alabama win, but then I swear it was a really dumb idea to put in a couple high school teams after that before facing a tough Virginia and a tough Miami team. And I did call it that the Virginia-Louisville game was actually going to be a trap game for them. They barely pulled out the win. I thought Louisville was actually going to, squeak by and get a dub on that one. Virginia is no slouch of a team, and then to have Florida State go and play Miami after that too, it's just a recipe for disaster. Is Pittsburgh the team that they can use to right the ship? Pittsburgh is no slouch team. I mean, they also come in on a 3-2 record. Doak Campbell's not an easy place to play. Granted, this one is not under the lights. It's a noon kickoff. So, you don't have the intense vibe that you would have for like a prime time, 7:30 kickoff at Doak. But I can actually see Florida State. I mean, FSU is favored in this one by like 10.5, I think. And I can see them actually getting maybe a 12 to 14 point win in this one, honestly. So I'm thinking that Florida State, I thought that they were going to right the wrongs from the Virginia game, but there's still just so many miscues against Miami. They dug themselves a huge hole to start that game. And I think that they're going to come out playing a lot more solid ball, a lot more just traditional fundamental football, none of this trickery bullshit that really just kind of did him in. I don't know if Gus Malzahn was thinking he needed to pull out like a lot of bags of tricks to beat Miami. He didn't really need to do that. And hopefully he just tries to stick to fundamental offensive plays and just keep it basic. Run the ground game, quick, short passes, intermediate at best. Look for the underneath stuff. It's going to be there. And yeah, FSU, 12 to 14 points in this one. So don't let me down, Knowles. All right, lastly, our top 3 Big 12 games of the week. We've got Kansas, 4-2 Kansas, traveling to number 9 Texas Tech. Undefeated Red Raiders. How do you pick against the Red Raiders right now? Because right now they could be like the cream of the crop for the Big 12, in all honesty. And I just don't see the Jayhawks coming into town and doing anything to stop this train that they've got going on. So give me the Red Raiders, honestly, by at least 17 points. Hands down, runaway win for them. Then we have number 18, BYU, who is 5-0, traveling to 4-1 Arizona. Honestly, this one's like a coin toss. I think BYU is favored by maybe a little bit, but something just tells me, winning at Arizona is not easy. And BYU has been suspect. Like, they almost lost to CU, let's be real. So I don't think that they have what it takes to actually go on the road and remain undefeated. Arizona's going to stick to a very solid, basic game plan, mistake-free, hopefully penalty-free. I mean, you got to keep that under check too, but they're going to keep things to minimal mistakes and be able to just pound the ground game and walk away with this one with a very close win. I'm going to call it 5 points or less, but Arizona knocks off undefeated BYU, takes away their perfect season. Lastly, I mean, I got to go with a CU game, right? Iowa State, number 22 Iowa State, coming into Folsom Field. Whew. Everything in my head says pick the Cyclones on this one, but I don't know. Something just tells me that CU's just on the cusp of something. Like, if they could just tweak a few small things, they would be so much better right now record-wise. They've lost some close games that should not have gotten away from them. Like, honestly, they should have beat BYU. They should have beat TCU. Right there, they'd be 4-2, looking really pretty right now. So those two games, honestly, should have definitely been wins. Where do we go from here, though? I mean, Buffs, come on. Don't do me dirty, but I'm going to go with CU on this one. 5 points or less. Close win. They pull off an insane upset over Iowa State and start to turn the tide for the rest of the season. So, let's go Buffs. All right, there you have it. Another episode of Laces Out is in the books. Again, as we always say, if you liked the episode, like the video. We greatly appreciate it. Share it out with family and friends across whatever social media platform you might be on. We greatly appreciate the love and support. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well so you can stay up to date on their latest updates. We do try to drop one video each week. And again, as always, enjoy this weekend's slate of games, and we'll check back with you again next week.